Hey, welcome back. I'm heading off to my daily walk step challenge, day 5. Today it's Monday. Sorry, just trying to work out the garage door, which is stuck. It's still afternoon. Actually, it's a bit earlier than I went yesterday because it was too dark when I got back. So let's go and close the garage and get walking. So it's nice actually. It's still windy. Quite windy actually. Might get that wind on the sound. But we're off to walking now. So hope you've been enjoying my other vlogs. If you haven't, if you're just tuning in, day 1 was Thursday actually, last week. Day 2 was Friday, day 3 Saturday, day 4 Sunday yesterday, and it's Monday today, day 5. So didn't get my 10,000 steps in because didn't do much walking in the morning, so I have to walk a bit further if I want to get my 10,000 steps in. But this loop that I do, this circuit, is probably about 4k, just under 5k. So it's probably not enough to do 10,000 steps. I have to do a bit more to get 10,000 steps in. So here we go. Here we go. See if the local wildlife is active today or not. We'll see how that is as we go around. That little puppy's not barking at me this morning or this afternoon like he was yesterday. That's all good today. It's beautiful and sunny right now. Although it is 10 to 4, it's almost 4 o'clock. Yesterday I got out a bit later, probably about 4:30. It took a bit longer, and got back, it was dark. Sunset, 5:15, the sun goes down, so got back in the dark. Today I'm hoping not to get back when it's dark, that's why I left a bit earlier. So look out for the bus stop blurb coming a bit later when I hit that bus stop. There's an old bus stop on the loop. When I get around there, I'll give the bus stop blurb for the day in my daily step challenge. Remember yesterday I talked about walking being free. So, you know, it's something that you can enjoy. And if you haven't caught up with my daily step challenge vlogs, go ahead and subscribe to my channel at Saku MC, SAKUMC 62, which is the year I was born. So yeah, 62 years old, going to be 63 in August. So follow along with me for that. I'm going to go the same way I went yesterday, I think. So I'll get the hill at the end. It doesn't matter which way I go. There's a little bit. There's a hill one way and there's a hill the other way. So it doesn't matter which way I end up going. There will be a hill for me to walk up. Some kind of gradient. So. And because I'm going this way, the sun is shining from behind me. It's pleasant walking in these streets, nice and quiet. Got to get up to Warrigal Road, which is quite busy and always has traffic, and the sounds of traffic will intensify as the cars go by. although it is afternoon and it is a public holiday. Monday, the 5th of May, Cinco de Mayo, and it's because Labour Day holiday here in Queensland. So there's a public holiday. Everyone gets to have a day off, or most people celebrating public holidays. Although people like Tino probably enjoyed working on this public holiday here in Australia. You get holiday rates of pay when you end up working on a public holiday. Most companies will give you time and a half or double time depending on what the rate is. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that people do enjoy working on public holidays, because they get paid time and a half or more than that. Actually depends on what their award rate is. So I've been at home editing video, which has been fun. Because I've had a long weekend, I've been able to edit quite a bit of video and upload all of my step challenges and other things as well. If you're not following my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Sometimes it's just the kooky rantings of a trolley living in Brisbane. But if you enjoy something to while away the hours, time, if you're a YouTube fan and you just want to gobble up some content, then yeah, check it out, and you might learn a thing or two. I'm happy to share stuff and share with people as well. One thing I did in between editing today was watch the NBA. I caught a bit of the Eastern Conference with Indiana Pacers, New York Knicks. I think the Pacers won that game. And then I was anxiously watching the Houston Rockets Game 7 against the Warriors, Golden State Warriors. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who you support, I was hoping the Houston Rockets would get through. Obviously, our big Kiwi Steven Adams is there, plus there's a couple of Aussies on that roster with Jock Londale, who's the centre as well, and Jack McVeigh, who's a game-winning championship NBL player, formerly from the Tasmanian Jack Jumpers. So, you know, when you've got guys from your region of the world in the best competition in the world in basketball, you kind of have an interest in following them as well. So kind of watch the Aussies that play in the league. Paddy Mills, Jumping Joe Ingles, Mr. Jingles, Dyson Daniels, Josh Green, you know, just to name a few. So I always have some interest waiting for the next Kiwi to make it to the league, and join Steven Adams, who's had a very good decade of a career in the NBA, which has been amazing. Unfortunately, the Rockets are off to Cancun now. If you know, you know. That's all right. They played well, just not well enough to have that Game 7 experience and playoff experience. They're still young, so I expect them to bounce back again next season if they keep that group intact or add to it even. So yeah, spent some of the morning watching the NBA, which I watched with interest as well. I've been interested and involved in basketball since a young age. It was probably about 10 or 11 when I first had a basketball, and used to shoot hoops way back then at South Auckland Primary School. So South Auckland 7-Day Adventist Primary School. I was a pupil there back in the, would have been late 60s, mid 60s I would have started there, and in the 70s. So I picked up a basketball back then. We didn't even have proper, well, they built a basketball court. It was a flat tennis court with these really primitive kind of hoops. Those of you from that era will remember those basketball hoops they put up. They weren't, there was just a hoop, but it was actually a chain wire fence was the backboard, if you can imagine. It wasn't even a timber backboard. It was actually a fence, like a chainmail fence backboard. And you know, if you hit the ball in a special place on that, it always went in. If you know, you know. Anyway, so my love for basketball started then. Before then, actually, I had a love for soccer. So soccer was my first love, because I was born and raised in Rewa, or Rewa, for those of you non-purists. And where we lived in Rewa was on the Great South Road, or off the Great South Road. We lived on McAnally Street, which was across the road from the Bellbird Hotel. There you go. And the Bellbird Hotel, there was a restaurant called the Jolly Poacher. It was on the corner of McAnally and Great South Road, Rewa. In that area, there was, behind our house, there was an old folks village, like a retirement village for senior citizens, called Tadmore Village. And we spent a lot of time playing in their grounds, because they had a little creek that ran through there. And we spent a lot of time as kids with the neighbours running amok in that area. And I'll tell you some stories about that place. Anyway, my first love was soccer, or football, because behind our house was Gallagher Park. And Gallagher Park was named after a famous New Zealand soldier. And the park was named after him, and that was the home of the Rewa soccer club at the time. And so as an infant, as a youngster, from the age of 4, I can remember running through that park and trying to be a soccer player. And also, my kindergarten was there at Gallagher Park, in the corner of Gallagher Park up the top, by the soccer club rooms, was a kindergarten for young kids. And so kindergarten in New Zealand, I think you went there, it was like preschool. You went there before you went to school, and you started school about 5, 6 years of age. So around 3, 4, I remember going to kindergarten there. And anyone who's from Rewa will know Rewa Hard, or Rewa Hard. And that's a moniker that we all carry. Those of you who are born and bred in Rewa or live in Rewa, we are Rewa Hard. And so there are people that grew up with me, who are from that neighbourhood, who are from that suburb in Auckland, South Auckland, and we carry that with pride. If you know. So yeah, soccer was my first sport, then basketball, and those two sports still stay with me. I've spent a bit of time actually in school. We played soccer because as a Adventist, Seventh-day Adventist and Seventh-day Adventist school, we didn't play rugby. Yeah, they had this thing about, competition overall, but you know, the collision sports, the contact sports, the official line was that they weren't going to allow us to play. So we played soccer, and I played for the school, played at school, and then when I came home, I'd run amok at the Gallagher Park, and the May-rathon soccer team was quite a renowned team at the time when I was growing up, probably in the late 70s, early 80s. They had John Adset as the coach, who was the national coach, and Steve Sumner, the New Zealand team captain, was the captain of May-rathon at the time. And then there were other athletes who were part of that. I remember young Colin Tua, some of you will know him and others won't. He was an up-and-coming youngster, played soccer in May-rathon, and he was a Samoan boy. And so, you know, he's one of the first Samoans to do really well in soccer, especially in New Zealand. And he was from that neighbourhood as well. And there were other athletes. There were Indians, you know, from Fiji, Fijian Indians and Indian Indians played soccer. Other Kiwis who played soccer. So that was where my passion came from. My basketball, though, I tried to play the best I could, not being very tall, probably 5'9", 5'9", and 5'9" wide. But yeah, so basketball was just a passion, and we loved trying to do what we could do. May-rathon was a great place to grow up, and I remember back in those days, I used to catch the bus to South Auckland Primary School, South Auckland Seventh-day Adventist Primary School. I used to catch the bus with my sisters. They were older than me. Three of my sisters were older than me, and then two of them were younger. And we used to catch the bus to school, even at that young age, 5, 6 years old. I would just go with my sisters. And I hated catching the bus because people back then were allowed to smoke on the bus. And I just hated that, you know. Just hated the smell. And probably to this day, I still hate the smell of tobacco. And that's all these childhood traumas that have come back to stay with me. I don't smoke and never have. And part of it is because I used to catch a bus where people were allowed to smoke. Funny, eh? Back in those days, I remember when you caught a plane, they offered you smoking or non-smoking. So you think about it now, how do you stop smoke wafting through an aircraft when you're on a plane and they offer you smoking or non-smoking, sir? Oh, hang on, let's just try and keep the smoke down one end. Yeah, crazy now when you think about it, but that's what life was like growing up in the 60s and 70s. Yeah, until things were starting to change. And I remember going to catch the bus at the bus stop, just at the corner across the road from where our street was, McAnally Street, came out to the Great South Road. And probably one of the most famous people from May-rathon at that time was a young runner named John Walker. And John Walker used to run past the bus stop. I'd see him training regularly. He'd run past there early in the morning, and with his long flowing hair and his athletic frame. And those of you who don't know who John Walker, not Johnny Walker, that's somebody different, but John Walker from Rewa was an Olympic athlete, was a 1500 metre runner, and won an Olympic gold in 1976 at the Montreal Olympics. So yeah, you know, he was Rewa Hard for sure, and has gone on to do so much for that community as well in South Auckland overall. So a lot of people came out of Rewa who have been notorious and some famous. So you know, there are people from Rewa who are all over the world doing amazing things, and I'm glad that I was a product of that suburb, that area, that region. So traffic's quite busy, but I'm here at the bus stop, so I'm going to give you a bus stop blurb for today. And the bus stop blurb for today is around sport. What is your sport? Why do you play it? And what has it done for you? How have you been involved in sport? So I was talking to you about being a soccer lover. I've started to follow Big League Soccer, which used to broadcast on Sunday mornings in New Zealand on TV, and something like that, the theme music. And my favourite team was Tottenham Hotspur. And to this day, much to the chagrin of some of my family members, Rosalind, who lives in London, who is a Arsenal supporter, I still support Tottenham to this day, and others that I've met support them as well. My brother-in-law Dave King, he supports Tottenham as well, along with me, and our good friend Pastor Willie Strickland was also a Tottenham Hotspur supporter, so that was another thing that we had in common. And you know, whatever your sport is, you get to play it, you get to do it. It's like walking. Enjoy the thing that you do, and do it well. And I watch a lot of parents encouraging their children, their grandchildren maybe even now, to be involved in some kind of sport and to chase sport. And I think it's great to do that, but never neglect the things that are eternal. So, you know, you can pursue sport and you can pursue anything in life really, but you can't neglect the things that are eternal. What do I mean by that? Faith in God is the ultimate. Trusting in God is the ultimate. And Scripture says, Matthew chapter 6 verse 33, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. So, you know, the Bible tells us that if you're after something that's long-lasting, eternal, seek the kingdom of God and his righteousness first and foremost. Sport's good. You know, it's a wonderful thing. I think for many it's given them something to strive for, some purpose in life, but there's a greater purpose in life that we all exist for. So I encourage you, you know, never neglect faith and faith in God at the expense, you know, don't pursue sport at the expense of your life and eternal life. I was involved in basketball in New Zealand. I was fortunate to have coached basketball, and I helped start the AUT, Auckland University of Technology Titans, basketball program. In the early days, I coached the men's and the women's teams. We won a few University Games championships in that time. And I actually was fortunate enough to medal gold medals, 2 gold medals, 2 silver medals and a bronze in my time coaching there. At the same time, I also was involved with the Auckland Stars NBL, 2004, 2005. I was volunteering some time with them. And there's a really interesting story to how that happened. And I'll tell you one day. But those were the 2 years they won championships. If you look up the history books, 2004, 2005, Kenny Stone was the head coach, Theo Tate was the general manager, and my role was marketing communications, and I was tasked with looking after corporate clients as well. So I didn't do any coaching, but I learned a lot from that structure and setup. And they won 2 championships while I was there. So I always had that bit of ribbing to the guys. I said, look, if you want to win a championship, come and get me, and I'll bless your team. Yeah, so great times too. Yeah, great times with some of the boys. Dylan Boucher, Casey Frank, Aaron Olsen was there at the time, the Canadian, Lindsay Tate, LT, and there were other guys there as well. My Comic, a few imports that they brought over from the States. But it's always interesting to see what you can learn, how you grow, everything you experience adds to your toolkit of knowledge. And so that's something powerful that you can take on board. So, you know, when you think about life, sport's a great part and has been a great part for many people. And I encourage you, mums and dads, to get out and play sport, but also encourage your kids in sport. But remember, there's a higher goal than gold medals, than winning championships. The highest of all goals is to make it to the kingdom and to share the kingdom with others. So that's my bus stop blurb for you. I want to keep on moving before the sun goes down and I end up in darkness. So I made it to the park, and I think there's some people playing basketball over there. Can't really see that far with my cataract eye, but there are people here in the park having some fun. It's still early or late afternoon, so it's about to be evening time. The sun's slowly going down in the distance. Yeah, so as I said, had some great upfront and personal experience with the New Zealand NBL in basketball, and then since I've come across here, I haven't coached again, even though I have had approaches to coach teams. It really takes a bit of time and dedication. When I was at the university, I really had the same passion to help the university start its basketball program, and also get things going and to win some championships and to create a bit of a legacy there. So that was always a positive approach, a good thing. Hello, how are you? Yeah, so, you know, when you have a passion for things, you pursue them to the best of your ability. And, you know, there's that whole commitment to excellence that you have, and there's a desire to do well. And I've watched with interest some of the careers of some of the athletes I've had over the years. You know, I recruited an athlete, Jared Kenny, who came to AUT. He was a clever cookie and a very good basketball player. He was a leader, still is to this day. And back in those days, I already knew that he would play for New Zealand at some stage, and also have a very good career in both the New Zealand NBL. He's actually played in the Australian NBL, and he's currently the general manager down in the Bay, Hawke's Bay in New Zealand, and he's a qualified physiotherapist. That was the degree he did at AUT. So, following his passions as well. Hello. Yeah, so, there were others as well. I watched their careers with interest. They've gone on to do different things, and I was fortunate to have some connection with a number of emerging athletes, high school athletes, not just in basketball, across different sports as well. There's more people out this time of the evening, walking dogs and with their families, getting a bit of exercise in. So it's really pleasant along this path because it's a nice path that's quiet. You hear those birds singing, chirping away, dogs barking. Yeah, there's not much traffic along this way, which is quite good. So I have to struggle with the noise while I'm recording, doing videos. So it's always good. Howdy. Yeah. Some people don't hear because they've got their earbuds on. That's good. Even if you do have earbuds, you only should try and keep a good awareness about yourself, about what you're doing and where you are, and the awareness around who's around you as well. It's always good. Yeah, so I have some fun stories of those NBL days, those basketball days, those university games days, and coaching young athletes who are fit and fast, can run and jump. Yeah, amazing. And having had the opportunity to coach and lead was a blessing. To be courtside and enjoying the sport I love up front. And even with the stars, the corporate boxes, looked after corporate clients. So they had some high-flying corporate clients. I won't drop their names here. I'll drop all the athletes' names. And I wish those athletes all the best, Guys like Dylan Boucher, Dill, gone on to do some wonderful things in sport, but he's an awesome guy. If you know Dylan, he's a great mind. He's a tactical mind. He's strategic. He's a good family man as well. And so guys like that, he's gone on to do some amazing things. Hello. Oh. Yeah. So he's gone on to do some great things, and he's now back with the Breakers, president of basketball operations at the New Zealand Breakers. But even other guys are doing awesome things. Casey went on and continued to do some studies in the master's area in business. Lindsay is giving back to the community through his basketball skill and talent. That's just great. And there are guys that I grew up with in Rewa who had opportunity to go places with sport and maybe didn't get things go their way. Some real talented hoopsters came out of Rewa and did all right. They rose to a level. But I think of guys who could have gone on to play American college hoops, just didn't have opportunities go their way, or for whatever reason, didn't understand the landscape and what what it might bring to them if they explored those horizons. So yeah, I can think of a number of real talented hoopsters who missed that gateway. But yeah, still doing well in life was the main thing. So it's always nice to have those connections still. I don't get to connect with some of those guys as much as I used to. Certainly because I live in Brisbane. Last time I connected with some of the basketballers, or Pero lives here, or is domiciled here part of the year when he's not coaching offshore. He's currently coaching in China, so Pero Cameron. Last time I got to catch up with those guys was when the Tall Blacks played the Boomers here in Brisbane a few years back, and it was great. I got to catch up with quite a few of the basketball fraternity from New Zealand, and that was good catching up. I catch up with PC every now and again, and he's always looking out for opportunities as well, and passionate about the sport of basketball. Yeah, so yeah, I think the Tall Blacks are playing Trans-Tasman series against the Boomers shortly, this month, maybe May. So yeah, might be worth a look. It's probably I think it's going to be in Sunshine Coast. Yeah, I think it's at the University of Southern Queensland campus. Interesting. We'll see. Oh, I'm coming back around now, but I think I'm going to add an extra few thousand steps. So I'm going to do a bit of a different loop before I get home, just because I'm nowhere near my target, which is 10,000 steps. And yesterday I did about 7,000 something, so just trying to make it up, which means I'll do a bit of an extended loop. You see the sun's setting back in the background, so I'm back on the main road near my house, but I'm going to walk up and do an extra loop to get some more steps in. Yeah, keep it going, walking with Jesus daily. Giving you some new scenery to look at. Still streets and lanes, houses on the roadside, and yeah, just doing another loop, a different way home, just to add some more steps, because I'm trying to get to that target of 10,000 at least. So I've still got daylight, so I can still vlog in the daylight. Yeah. I was involved with a program that Noah Hickey, who was a soccer player for New Zealand and internationally. Noah, shout out, bro, you better be subscribing to my channel. And Noah and I and some other colleagues of mine from the university were involved in a program that Noah founded, and then we co-founded together. We compiled a revamp of the program. It's called Shine, and we rebranded AUT Shine Sport. We went out into schools, and we're working with emerging athletes from schools around New Zealand, actually. So you know, there were athletes from all different sports, you know, orienteering, rowing, rugby of course, and rugby league, basketball, football, soccer, netball. Yeah, there were athletes I can recall from all over. We even had a dancer in our program, and her goal was to become a professional dancer. She ended up being a professional dancer and dancing around the world, and still follow her on Facebook. She does Pilates instructing, lives in LA, and shout out to you I don't know if I should say her name. Yeah, I don't want to name drop because she's worked with some really great international artists, global artists, by the way. So, okay, Angela. Shout out to Angela, and well done on your journey in sport, dance, and around the world. It's taking you to dance on X Factor and Britain's Got Talent and in LA with various artists, J-Lo. Yeah, so, you know, when you've got a goal in mind, and just pursue it. And that's the thing about sport. And a number of athletes involved in that Shine program went on to be top professional athletes. Yeah, and so you know, part of it was around how to set goals and how to pursue your dreams. And you know, thanks to Noah for being the brainchild of something that was different and helping athletes and giving back to other athletes, because you know, a lot of really top professional athletes, one of the things that they like to do is give back to other athletes. And so that's one way of doing it, is creating programs that give back. And I can think of other top-notch athletes, you know, Hamish Carter and his wife Marissa, doing work that help other athletes. So I think that's a great, it's you know, it's giving back to society, giving back to community, giving back to the next generation. And I think a lot of athletes will do that and have done that. That's my road there, actually. Well, that goes to my house, but I'm going to try and catch a few more steps, a few more thousand steps before I head down that way. So yeah, I think I've got like Stephen Adams now, you know, in his Pathways program in New Zealand, where he runs programs for athletes, and basketballers, emerging talent, young kids who want to follow in his footsteps or just want to pursue the sport. And he's got a whole team of people that look after that program in New Zealand. And happens here in Australia as well. There are athletes who are giving back to the generation that's coming. And you know, it's always important to give back and to leave a good legacy, to foster talent, to identify talent, and then to nurture that talent. That's one of the great legacies that some of these athletes leave behind, continue to leave behind in their community and their society. So this new route that I took, I found a park that has a basketball hoop and some of the boys are playing there. I'm just too tired to go and introduce myself and shoot some hoops with them, although I'd probably put another few thousand steps on my radar. That's right, I'm just walking, going to try and find a way back to my street along this way. I don't know, never been down here before, so I'm just reading my map and making my way down the road. So good on the boys for being out there doing what they love, shooting hoops. And that basketball hoop looked like it had a net too, so obviously get some good usage from the local boys in the neighbourhood. So, making my way down some side streets, just following the map. It's destined to get me back to the house, but it's good because it puts on extra steps for me, so I can get to my target 10,000. I did 7,300 or 600 yesterday. Well, that's okay. It is what it is, and can only do what I can do. And I stepped out too late last night, so ended up coming back in the dark. Not good for those of you who are watching video, looking at black screens. Anyway, it's nice and quiet around here. Some people walking their dogs, just walking. Asian, mostly Asian people actually that I've met. So a lot of people from Southeast Asia have settled in this area, this region. Like I said, up at Sunnybank, it's often referred to as Chinatown. And they're not all Chinese, they're Koreans, there's people from all over, Japanese, yeah. And not even those cultures alone, there are migrants from all over the world. Isn't it interesting how the world is international, the global village? You know, Marshall McLuhan coined the phrase, the global village. And so, yeah, there is a global village. In every country you go to, people decry immigration, but it's immigration that makes us so wonderful, isn't it? That we can meet people of different cultures, different foods, different style of clothing. I'm walking on the road, so I better not get run over. Better keep my wits about me. Yeah, and I think it's something that we should treasure. That we're all created in the image of God. Ah, this is where this goes. I know where this ends up, right outside the bus stop on Warrigal Road, but I've never been through here before. So it's a nice little path. The legs are feeling it, body's feeling it, but feeling good, feeling fine. Should be dancing to Columbine. Some of you will remember that if you're as old as me. Yeah, some of those old ads, they're just sticky, you know, they're just sticky, they stick in your mind, and you can recall them from back in the day. So this actually gives me Myers Park feels. It's not as big and deep as Myers Park in Queen Street, Auckland City, which is named after Sir Dub Meyer Robinson, the former mayor of the city of Auckland. When I saw that light, yeah, as I was coming down, where is that light? Oh, there. It gave me that feeling of Myers Park. And any one of you who have traversed through Myers Park at night, in the middle of the night, along Queen Street, going to your favourite hangout. I'm not talking McDonald's, 24-hour McDonald's on Queen Street, you'll remember. But those other places down a bit further, yeah. Well, anyway, I'm back up to the main road now. You can hear the traffic starting to rebuild. And I'm about to loop back into where I live, my street. Oh, I could have caught the bus. Too late. Sorry about it. Anyway, the light is starting to fade because the sun is setting, and I don't know, where does the sun set? The sun sets in the east and it comes up, it rises in the west, for those of you who are not sure. Yeah. So where the sun comes up in the morning, that's west or southwest, northwest, depending on where you are in the world. And it goes down in the east. It sets in the east, the setting sun. And because the world is flat. No, I'm just joking, I'm not a flat earther. And some people are. Some people are flat earthers, not me. That one's for you, Kari. My friend Kari Irving, born in Melbourne, Australia. Yeah, he's a renowned flat earther. But yeah, sets in the east because the earth is spherical. Amazing. That's a whole new topic. I made it back and made my step count, which was awesome. So got to 10,000 steps just by going that longer loop, and now I'm going to go inside and rest up and catch up on some other things. Yeah, good walk today and good chat. Thanks for being with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe and come back and visit and see what I'm up to. It's day 6 tomorrow of the Steps Challenge. So back in the office tomorrow, back at the centre. So come along, stay with it, yeah.